Hello, bookworms. I'm Kate.
And I'm Jess.
And this is
Books, Brews, and Banter.
If you're new here, hi.
Hello.
We love to talk about all things
Bookish.
books-ish. On today's episode, we'll be talking about a dual timeline romance about a World War II love story left unfinished, a modern author hired to finish it, and the granddaughter caught in the middle of both. We cried twice in the same sitting. That's right. Welcome, friends, to our coverage of The Things We Leave Unfinished by the Rebecca Yarros.
Ooh la la. The plot summary on this one is Georgia Stanton inherits her famous grandmother Scarlett's estate and discovers an unfinished novel Scarlett has never completed before she died. The manuscript ends at the most devastating possible moment. We read this I think this week.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
It's very fresh in my mind.
Same here. I reread it with her. And so she just looked so sad when I looked up.
It's so sad. Something to know about Scarlett's grandma, Scarlett Stanton,
Good
is
old
that
Granny.
she is from England, and also she became a famous author during her lifetime in the States when she moved after the war or during the war. So just note that.
Yes. Enter Noah Harrison, a best-selling author hired by the publisher to finish the book. Georgia hates this idea. Noah is annoyingly persistent and annoyingly charming about it.
Would we expect anything less from Rebecca Yarros?
Not at all. It is probably, even out of the whole book, one of my favorite scenes when he walks into that bookstore and they have like a whole moment and she's basically like, your books are trash.
Yeah, your books suck.
And doesn't know it's him.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I gotta go. Because he was on the phone.
Right.
And buys his own books in front of her. And then when he walks in later to actually be the publisher to like write her grandma's story, like ending, she looks at him and she's like, you bought your own books? And he's like, I had to do it for the plot. Basically, like, I had to. You were watching me. You trashed me.
Right.
What do you expect?
Right.
Anyways, that's a side note. I just,
his character in that moment is beautifully hilarious.
Their
I loved it.
Banter is
so good.
My favorite.
So good.
Top tier.
Rebecca Yarros, if you've never read her, honestly, I'm surprised. But just know that she writes banter honestly better than most authors I've read. She writes it so well. So 10 out of 10 to you. Every book I've read by her is like that. I love it.
Oh, absolutely. I completely agree. She is, I think I texted this to you. She is the banter queen.
She is.
She always aces it.
I hope that she's like that in real life. That'd be so fun.
I bet she is. I bet she is.
Yeah, I bet she
you gotta have a little feist in you to be able to do that.
Yeah, well, I agree.
All right, so back to the summary from my little sidetrack notes there. This story alternates between present-day Georgia and Noah falling in love, maybe slowly falling for each other anyways, while fighting over the manuscript, and World War II, where we follow Scarlett and Jameson's actual love story as it unfolds.
Tear up my heartstrings, why don't you?
She really likes World War II things.
I do. I'm such a sucker for a World War II love story / plot line. They're beautifully tragic in the best way, but also that's why this one was so heart-wrenching. I knew from the second we were in World War II timeline, I was like, crap, this is going to end terribly and I'm going to cry. And I did, so it was fine.
As soon as she realized and texted me, so I had read this book previously. Caitlin had not.
Yeah.
She tells me she's reading it, and I literally in my head just go,
yeah. And I'm like, that's just rude.
And then she texts me when she realizes that. I'm like, hey, yep. And I'm like,
also,
you know what?
Sorry if you can hear my dog in the background, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. And that was the moment where I was like, you know what? I'll read it with you. I'll
be emotional support. It was much needed, let me tell you. But some people do that. Like, so this is a contemporary romance novel is what it's, marketed as. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just going to tell their story in the background while really it focuses on the other. So like when it started going back and forth, I was like, crap, I know I'm going to cry. I don't want to, but it's going to happen. So here we are.
So here's the catch. As she just said, we know from page 1 the historical love story ends in a tragedy, and Yarros makes you completely fall in love with Scarlett and Jameson anyways.
Yep.
It is a choice. It is a devastating choice. But we respect it.
But also cry about it. Literally, kind of.
There's no kind of. It was literally. So your general main character breakdown. You have Georgia Stanton, present day protagonist, recently divorced, fiercely protective of her grandmother's legacy as she should be. More guarded than she lets on.
Yeah, she definitely lets on, but just no one notices until her walls are already up. What I liked about Georgia, and I'm only just going to note this shortly because I'm sure you'll talk about it more later, but she kind of comes into the story very broken. She's coming right out of a very messy divorce. It's very public because she was married to a what was it, like a movie producer, and she helped start that producing company, whatever you want to call it, production company. But she's so raw from it, and yet she very much has guards up, and I don't think she's quiet about it, but no one really seems to notice, and that's what broke my heart for her. Those first couple chapters, getting to know her, is like, oh, no one really notices these things about this girl. Like, no one really knows her mom doesn't even know her, because and so the one person who she was close to, her grandma Scarlett, who raised her, is gone. So that's what broke my heart for her starting this whole story. I was like, you poor girl.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, if you think about it, it kind of makes sense why people didn't realize, because over the years of her marriage, she became what they actually called her Ice Queen.
Yeah.
Because she chose to stay in something that she knew wasn't good for her, where she needed out, but she wasn't getting out. It was suffocating her. And there's a few lines in this that she just put it so eloquently.
Oh my gosh, yes. I highlighted them.
Heartbreaking to read, but I think that's partly why people don't realize, is because she turned it all off. She became Ice Queen. So even
just
though
to survive it.
Yes. And then on top of that, you have to remember that, like, these few months that this is all happening, she literally just had this divorce.
Right. It's like 6 months out, I think, when the story starts.
Yeah. Like, it's not like, oh, a few years later and she's still hard. But like, no, this is raw. It is fresh. Raw. It's just happened.
Yeah. There are still people like making stories about it, still people talking about it. And the worst part is that the ex is like with somebody else who's pregnant. So like, it's very public.
And that's part of why it was a divorce. Like,
right. Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Yep. So anyway, my heart broke for her in the beginning of this story. So
amen. But Georgia is so easy to root for because of her protectiveness for Scarlett's story. Feels so completely earned, and it is.
It is, yeah.
It isn't just about a book. It's about holding on to someone she's loved, and quite frankly, in that moment, it's the last person she has to hold on to.
Yeah.
Her walls make complete sense, and watching them come down is heart-wrenching and everything.
Yeah, it's like you're rooting for her to let them down, but also understand why they're there. So I agree. She's so easy to root for, 100%. Absolutely. Also, her snarkiness is just fun to watch between her and Noah. So anyway,
I agree completely.
Noah Harrison, also known as the main love interest of the contemporary part of this book. Boop, boop. He is a best-selling author who Scarlett makes it known that she hates his books, as we just heard from Jess from the opening scene. He's secretly struggling, uses charm as a shield, and better than he thinks he is. Noah could have been the generic swoony love interest, because he, as Georgia puts, I forget exactly how she words it in the beginning of the book, but how he is devastatingly handsome. But instead, Yarros gives him some actual depth to his character, and he's grieving something he can't name. His connection to Scarlett's story is more personal than he admits early on, and we love him for it. What I really liked about Noah is that he's written in such a way that makes you feel like he genuinely cares, but he tries not to.
Absolutely.
And so the way that he latches onto Scarlett, it's almost because like I see what you're grieving, even if you can't name it, and so I'm gonna dig, and he can't help it, and I kind of love that about him. So.
Oh, I agree. There's something.
Here we go. I love it.
There's something about a person, especially an attractive male, that when they see you hurting, know how to pry just enough, but not too much.
Right.
And know when to be too much in the prying.
Right.
Because this is like a whole side rant I could go on.
Yeah.
But when people are in grieving moments and all of that, like, people tend to be like, I'm here for you from afar. I'm here for you from afar, because they're scared of grief. People are scared of it. People don't know what to do with it. People are afraid of the lash out of what they might do if you do pry, like that type of deal. But the reality is grief needs someone to sit with.
Yes,
like,
it does.
You need someone when you're in grief. You need someone, the right person, not just anyone can do it by any means, shape, or form. But to have an understanding of grief, you are able to do that to the right person and in the right way. And he just does it so well. Yeah. And I just really appreciate it. And I think Rebecca's done this in multiple books like that, of just being able to eloquently put how grief is and what someone truly needs in grief. And I think these books kind of help show people that.
Yes, I agree. And I think with specifically Rebecca, because she does this in a lot of her different books, she uses death and grieving and either as a theme or as part of a plot twist. Yes. But she does a good job of, I think, in my personal opinion, exemplifying what a person truly needs in that grief. Because you can put it really eloquently, you can have banter through it, and like she does those things and it's fun, but she does a really good job of exemplifying it. And I think that's hard to do as an author, to like put it on page without there being any words necessarily, like as language and conversation. So like, for example, Noah knows when to push buttons and knows when to respect her boundaries. Yes. And for example, I think in real life, that's really hard to know when to do. So to have it as exemplified in characters to kind of follow those push points is really, really helpful, because Georgia needs someone to kind of push her out of her isolation, but gently. Yes. And Noah recognizes that from his own grief. So yeah, I just think she does a good job of that, of exemplifying it, not necessarily with words and how-to steps, but just in her characters and in their actions.
Exactly. So. And to give in my opinion, like kind of full viewpoint of like, when you do push too far and there is lash out, that you don't take it personally. You walk away, you still come back. Yeah. And she shows it through like Georgia, of her thinking process afterwards of like, oh, like I shouldn't have done that. Right. Or, like this is what happened.
Like I didn't mean that. It was just in the moment. Right.
It just, it shows, it's also wonderful.
No, written. She does it so well. I agree. And makes it so relatable, because those are things that people really go through, things people really feel, and people make bad decisions in the moment of. So like she lets it kind of messily play out, but gives you steps on how to come back from it. Yes. So it's good. And the last one, Scarlett and Jameson from the historical timeline from World War II. This one just broke my heart. We're surprised. The World War II love story at the heart of everything. And this is the reason the whole book hits as hard as it does, truly. Like Yarros does write the historical timeline with so much tenderness that you forget that you already know how it ends. Like she talks about it so clearly in the first few chapters that I honestly forgot about it because I fell in love with him so much. And Scarlett is so sharp and fearless, and Jameson is like the quietly devoted, and the two of them together make present day romance feel like the subplot, which honestly like is impressive, because you would think that you'd walk into a modern romance expecting that to be the shiner of it all, but it's not. So, but I loved that even from early on, you root for them, Scarlett and Jameson, because you want to see them win amidst such tragedy. I'm gonna cry all over again. Oh, I can't also like Yarros is to give. Oh my goodness, I can't speak today. Forgive me. I'm sorry.
But she's just a little emotional about the book still. Don't. It's understandably.
But it's so like Yarros to give you the answers before you ask for them and still break your heart. It's fine. I'm sending you my therapy bill.
That was great. That's a good add-in right there. I agree. She has ripped my heart apart so many times.
I will say though, so if you are like Jess and I, one of the reasons I got back into reading, especially after I had my second son, was because of Rebecca Yarros' series Fourth Wing. So you probably have heard of Fourth Wing. It's all over Book Talk. It's all over. Anyone who reads has probably read it, and it's great. There's good reason for it. But she does such a good job of setting up a story and then coming back to that starting point. And this is no exception, especially with the historical timeline. So I don't know why I missed it. And then my heart was still broken, but it's fine. So on to the emotional damage scale.
It's a solid 9.
Explain, Jess. Explain your feelings.
Oh, I will. The letter. You know the one.
Oh my goodness.
We're not going to elaborate because you deserve to experience that moment without warning. The same way we did.
Yep. Amen. Just trust us.
The surprise was how much the historical timeline hit compared to the contemporary one, which Caitlin kind of touched on as well a little bit ago. But we went in expecting to be charmed by Georgia and Noah, and instead we're absolutely wrecked by Scarlett and Jameson.
Mm-hmm.
Both timelines earned, but the World War II story just hits different. And I feel like that's how, I mean, in my opinion, like it always goes. Like there is just something about historical romances, and especially
So
World War II ones that just are like, hot dang, my little heart's in pieces.
Yes. Yeah, I'm always a sucker for World War II. Like I said earlier, I think part of it too is that I have family who served in World War II. So I used to listen to stories. Like my great grandma was in the Marine Corps. And so she would tell me stories about that time all the time because she was stationed out in California and what that looked like. And so I think there's a part of me that will always be a sucker for those stories because I remember her telling me stories of her life there during the war. But this one truly wrecked my soul. I genuinely did not expect it to be as tragic as it was, even though we were warned from the very beginning. And I honestly blame myself. Here's the thing with World War II love stories. You expect there to be some sort of tragedy, but a lot of times either in cinema or even, literacy, they'll give you some sort of happy ending, right? And you do get one here, but you know that it's not real. And that's what broke my heart with this, is that it's almost like you get some sort of happy ending, but it's fake. So here you go. And it like twists the knife a little bit. And that's when I cried, is when we got to read. I think I say this letter, like, did you ugly cry? And I said, yes, but I teared up at the letter. And then I cried when I read Noah's happy ending for Scarlett and Jameson because it never happened. And I'm not okay. But I was teary eyed that whole like last fourth of the book, but I really cried at that fake happy ending because I'm like, oh, that's what they could have had. But that's not what they had. So spoiler alert, if you don't want it, then just skip ahead. But it's because they both died. And you don't realize that until the letter scene. I'm like, what the frickety frack? As you had to put it. What the
frickety frack?
Oh my goodness. Because again, like I was expecting Jameson to die. You were prepared for that death because it's introduced early on. Nope, it's both of them. Sorry.
Surprise, surprise.
Anyway, but
yeah. Did you ugly cry? I think you have learned from us at this point that we full ugly cry.
Yes, we did.
I absolutely cried actual tears when I read this book, and that says a lot. The letter scene and also just the ending of the historical timeline. Also the moment
it's good when she needs to stop.
The moment when Georgia finally understands what her grandmother left her.
Yeah.
We were in pieces, no notes.
Yes, I agree. And I think too that when it came to the reveal of Constance and Scarlett, if you don't know what I'm talking about, again, skip ahead. But putting myself in Constance's shoes of having to carry something for that long to your grave with nobody knowing. Like, I don't think I could do it. Like, I think eventually I would have like said something. But the way that the story continued that way and no one knew, I thought was really impressive. Like, I just think from a character standpoint, it's brilliant, but from a reality standpoint, it's terrifying. So anyway, continue.
Totally valid. Speaking of terrifying, would you date him or would you call 911? And this one is different for this book, I feel like, because normally we're reading like all these moral great characters, and
fantasy,
like all of this.
Yeah.
This book's not that.
No, it's not.
And that's why, spoiler alert, all of them are dateable. Every last one of them, okay? All right. But we'll still tell you which ones and why. So
Georgia,
we love her.
We love her.
She's been burned badly and she's still trying. And that takes guts. She's loyal to the people that she loves to a fault. And she's funny when she's not. when she's not in defensive mode. Ophelia girlfriend. Absolutely dateable once she lets herself believe that she deserves good things.
Yeah, it's good. Noah. Obviously, we put dateable. He
So
shows
dateable.
up.
Give me that.
Jess is like, give me a tall glass of that. And thank you.
Oh, yes, please.
He shows up repeatedly in ways that matter, and he listens. He respects the no and waits for the yes, which I think we all love a character who does that, who respects the no and waits for the yes. He also makes her laugh, and when she's trying to stay mad at him, and honestly, that's probably the most important quality. Solid 10 out of 10. 100% agree. My husband does the same thing to me, and even though it annoys me, it's also very, very endearing. So
We love that.
Jameson. Oh, break my heart in half, why don't you? It's fine.
I will. He will.
A World War II pilot who writes letters, loves Scarlett completely without trying to change a single thing about her, and faces the worst possible circumstances with grace and courage. He is the gold standard. I repeat, the gold standard. We are not okay about what happens to him. Honestly, the scene where they talked about finding his ring at the bottom of the sea, stop. Like, I just... Take a moment.
I
Take a moment.
Chills
when you said that. Started tearing up. I didn't even know how it ends. Oh dear goodness gracious. Oh,
Can
so
you tell
sad.
we like the book?
Yeah, it's so good. Please read it.
And this, like, for me, this is even like a reread.
Yeah.
And I'm usually pretty emotionless
On a reread.
when it
Yeah,
comes to
same.
a reread. Like,
Same.
But this one just does
Nope.
something to ya.
It does. I agree.
Speaking of doing something to us, our
Favorite quotes. This is not okay. Here we go.
All right, my first one. Some stories aren't meant to be finished. They're meant to be felt. Oh, that line is doing triple duty. It's about Scarlett's manuscript. It's about grief, and it's about love that doesn't get a neat resolution. Yarros earns the right to say this because she spends the whole book proving it.
Yeah, she does. You're right.
And it really sums up the entirety of the book.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And I feel like if you've ever had any type of love or relationship like that too, like that just does something to you.
Yeah.
And it's even harder.
It's good.
And even not even, just to be clear, not even like romantic love per se, but like love of a human.
Yeah, I would also say too, like that, like you said, it really is doing triple duty because it's not just about Scarlett and Jameson. It's not just about Georgia and Noah. It's also about Georgia and her mom. Like that, they don't finish on a good note in this book, but she needs to feel that rejection. She needs to feel her for who she is. Like she doesn't need to have that chapter finished yet, and that's okay.
Absolutely.
So I really liked that could be applied to a lot of different things, not only for this book, but other things in life too. So it's good.
You want to shout one? You want to shoot one? Just to be clear what I said.
Say, what are we talking about here?
You want to say one?
Yes, I only had two because you got a lot of the good ones. So, but I'll start with this one.
Sorry.
No, I'm not upset about it. Without the potential for disaster, would we ever really know what we have?
Oh, shot to the heart. Amen.
Oh, goodness. The way Scarlett says this to Constance, and it's the type of foreshadowing I live for. Honestly, like I went back and I read that quote and I was like, dang, because Scarlett is saying this to Constance, who just lost the love of her life. He had just died because of the war. And yet that's eventually going to be the reality of Constance losing her sister, who had also just lost her husband. And so I honestly just applauded Yarros for reading that back because it's just this idea that, like, I do think it's true. And Scarlett even kind of talks about this because she's always known she wanted to be a writer. She has these thoughts in her head, and like growth for characters was a big thing. That's where that conversation was leading when she said this, talking about characters specifically. But it's so true. Like, do you ever really know what you have if there isn't a potential to lose it? And I think in a book like this, it makes really raw this idea that we talked about earlier of risk, right? Of risking, like, maybe it wasn't earlier, maybe it was in the last episode, but this idea of risking something for love or risking something in general that's worth risking for, that you know what you have if you're willing to risk the potential of losing it, that it's worth it. So I liked that a lot.
Oh, absolutely. That's a really good one.
Your next one, Jess. She's like, all the feels.
All the feels. She had loved him in wartime, which meant she had loved him in the only way that was ever completely true, with the full knowledge that she might lose him. The historical timeline in one sentence.
Yeah, it really is.
This is what makes Scarlett and Jameson's love story so gutting, because it was never naive. She knew the cost and she chose it anyways. Like, you see the conflict in her.
Yeah.
Even when they first meet. Like, they first meet and he's like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
She's it.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Cool. Come on, girl. And she's like, I don't date people like you.
Right. She's like, I don't date pilots because I know
Yeah.
that's a surefire way for my heart to get broken.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I think when she said that, at least for me, like, I immediately thought what sometimes you've heard, like, in both in war stories and just in general, of like, oh, they dated around.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that in the slightest. It was, hi, my heart might break, not because of you doing something, but because you can't do anything else ever in your life.
Right.
Because you have died.
Right.
You know, like,
yeah, absolutely.
it just,
Yeah.
all the feelings.
All the feelings.
All the feelings.
But I also liked the way this is worded. She loved him in the only way that was ever completely true. The full knowledge that she might lose him. This breaks my heart. But I just like the way that's worded. It's true. Like, again, what we said earlier with my quote, like, you know that it's worth it if you know that you might lose him and you still choose it anyway.
Absolutely. It's my last quote. You can't protect yourself from feeling things, Georgia. You can only decide whether the feeling was worth it after. Oof. Noah says this, and it lands because it's what the whole book is arguing. Georgia has been armor plating herself against loss, and this is the line that starts cracking it. We highlighted it twice. We wrote it. We put it on a pillow.
We put it on a pillow. I love it. I'm here for it. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt someday.
Maybe we should. Maybe we should do merch. And like when we say put it on a pillow, it's actually a keyword or code word that we're making merch for it. How fun would that be?
Put it on a pillow.
Maybe we should just have a cup that says put it on a pillow.
And it's a picture of a pillow with that on it.
We're gonna I'm sorry. I gotta go.
So mind us just daydreaming about merch. Let us know if you want to see some in the comments.
You might anyways.
But it's so good. I agree. I put that it's even more gutting to realize that her grandmother loved in full knowledge that the risk was worth it, like we've been saying, because what she had was so rare. But Georgia has only seen the imitation of love in the form of manipulation and neglect. So the way that you see these two storylines side by side, and one is all in, full heart and ache,
Yeah.
and all the other is walls crumbling and reluctance, which is honestly beautiful. And I think Georgia has to learn from her grandmother's story more than she realizes that the risk is worth it, because she knows that she's attracted to Noah. She sees good things in him, but she doesn't know if she can trust it, not because of him, but because of the things she's been through in her experience. So
Absolutely.
I loved that side by side comparison, because her grandmother was also reluctant, but not because of necessarily experience with love, but just because she didn't know if it would be worth it. So it's good. I liked that.
All right, read the heartbreaker.
My last quote is this: tragedy has a way of breaking gentle things and soldering the shattered pieces together in ways we can't control. Some, it remakes it into stronger, more resilient creatures. In others, the pieces fuse before they heal, leaving only razor-sharp edges. Oh, Rebecca Yarros.
Shot to the heart.
So this is part of Constance's letter to Georgia. So if you haven't read the end of this book, this is a spoiler. Sorry, you're still here. So here we are. Constance is actually who Georgia knew as her great-grandmother. She posed as her sister Scarlett the entirety of the rest of her life into her grave. And so she left a letter for Georgia for her to know the truth. And so this is something that she wrote to her, explaining that like there wasn't some part of her that became something different, but a healed, stronger version of herself when she came to the States, became her sister, and started this life that was really her own, even though she wore her sister's name. And I just thought the way that my soul felt this so deeply in the words of talking about becoming resilient and stronger through gentle heartbreak. Because I like this idea that we must choose to do the hard work to heal resiliently. Like it's not
absolutely
necessarily like it's something we could choose if we want to, but some people just choose not to let it solder back together. Some people choose to let it stay jagged.
Yes.
And so I like that she's basically reminding her, because she at the time of her writing that letter, she knows that she's in a marriage, that Georgia's in a marriage that is not loving. It's not what she wanted for her. And so she's reminding her that like, you're probably very broken, just like I was, but you can reshape yourself should you choose to. And it couldn't have come of a more perfect moment with what's happening with her and Noah and that part in the timeline. So
she's basically just reminding her, don't let the hard things harden you.
Right, exactly. I just thought that was so beautiful because how applicable to real life. But
I completely agree. No notes.
No notes.
10 out of 10. Recommend.
Why we like this book.
The dual timeline structure isn't gimmicky here, which really just sets that apart, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. It's very smooth.
Yeah, we've touched on that like a few times, but the two love stories that are in genuine conversation with each other, this whole book, and what happens in the World War II timeline reframes what happens in the present and vice versa.
Yeah, I agree.
Yarros built something that actually needed to have both halves to work. This wasn't like, oh, here's what's happening in real life. By the way, here's a little letter.
Right.
It truly, and that's just magical in my opinion, to be able to coincide and like write those so perfectly and beautifully and musically together.
Yeah, I agree. And there's a point in the timeline too where you've hit a part in the World War II story where it's going to be completely life altering for the storyline itself between Jameson and Scarlett and Constance, and the way that intertwines with where George is at in the modern day in that part of the story. It was just like chef's kiss because I just put that the way they're intertwined with their growth in the story itself is masterful. I didn't realize, and I didn't mean to like underestimate Yarros by any means, because clearly I read a lot of her books and I love her as an author, but I just didn't realize that she put so much forethought into these types of stories. So I was just really impressed by that.
The entire book talk community might come for you.
Maybe. That's fine. I'm just being honest about the
sorry.
fact that I didn't expect that. And I'm going to stick by that because I'm now very impressed.
As you should be.
As I should be. I'm already a fan. Do I need to say I'm even more of a fan? Because I will not.
No, I believe you. It's okay.
Anyway, who would we recommend it to?
If you love dual timeline romance, World War II, historical fiction, or books that just make you feel things in your chest cavity.
Yep.
This is mandatory reading then.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Also, honestly, anyone who's ever lost someone or understands that grief and love are basically the same thing. Mm-hmm. I read a quote once that it was said, grief is love that has nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And that's this book.
That's his book to a T. I 100% agree. I also put, if you just like Yarros' style of writing and enjoy a heartbreaking twist, because that's kind of her MO, I feel like.
Oh, absolutely.
You're welcome. You'll love this book.
It 100% is. I don't know how she does it. Caitlin and I were talking about this before we started recording, but she's set out to break your heart.
Right.
You know that she has decided violence in every book she's ever written.
Violence. I had to. Sorry. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't.
That was wonderful. She has chosen to break your heart in every book somehow. But every time, despite the fact that you're like, prepare your heart, prepare yourself, prepare your mind.
And I thought I was prepared.
You're never prepared. You're just never prepared.
You're never prepared. We'll have to do more of her books because I've read not quite a few. I've read a few, and every single time there's at least one other one that I can name that's off the top of my head that I did bawl my eyes out at the end, and I didn't see it coming. And so we'll have to talk about another one on here soon.
Which one?
The Last Letter.
Yep.
I had to pause for dramatic effect. Still just gets my heart every time.
Oh, yeah. I think that was the first one I read of hers that wasn't like Fourth Wing.
Yeah.
And then I was like...
It was the second one for me that wasn't Fourth Wing. I think the first one was In the Likely Event, which I loved. Would still reread it to this day.
Same.
It definitely had a plot twist I didn't expect, but it wasn't as gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
But it was sad. So, gosh, Yarros, breaking our hearts right and left.
For sure. I mean, we have another note here for author style and signature, but we really have already told you.
Right.
Yarros writes emotional payoff like she's saving it specifically for the moment that will hit hardest.
She probably is.
100% she is. She doesn't rush anything. The slow burn is real. The grief is real. And when she finally lets you into that thing that you have been waiting for, it lands because she made you wait for it.
Yep, I agree. And especially in this book, it feels so worth it because the main characters felt like they truly had to work for what they got. And that's beautiful. Like, especially with Constance's end story and Georgia and Noah. So I think that that's beautiful. Would we read the next one? Well, the thing is, this is a standalone.
Yes.
But Rebecca also wrote the Fourth Wing series, and I'm sure you've heard. We definitely suggest that if you like her writing style, and as well if you like fantasy. But really, any of her contemporaries are good. One of my personal favorites is a book of hers called Variation, because I was a dancer growing up, so it has to do with dance as well, and the plot line. So definitely recommend that one as well. But it brought us back both to reading her Fourth Wing series. So we really owe it to Rebecca Yarros that we're here in the first place. So
I have songs running through my head from my statements.
Aww. Well, would you like to sing them, or do you want to sign off?
On that note, this has been Brooks, Brews, and Banter.
I'm Kate.
And I'm Jess.
Thanks for hanging out with us, friends. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on social media.
Farewell. See you next time.
Bye.